Why do I sketch? Sometimes I sketch to try out a new pen or art tool or some new paints. I'm always looking out for that new experience, that surprise, when I find that an art tool can produce lines or marks that my other art tools cannot. I also sketch to get reacquainted with old art tools and paints I've bought and forgotten about. Like this fountain pen I'm using right now, and these old acrylic paints. Using them can also provide a completely new experience, because sometimes it's been so long that I've forgotten how it felt like to use them. Or maybe I've changed, I've grown, I've learned new things. And so it's like using new art tools and paints all over again. I sketch to play. Funny, as an illustrator, I'm sketching when I work, but I'm also sketching when I play. But there is a difference. When I'm sketching to play, I have no expectations about standards. I allow myself to try new things, to take bigger risks without worry of failure. I try out new ways to capture a scene, or I might try out an interesting technique another artist is using, or to satisfy a curiosity. Like, what if I did the color first instead of the line? Or trying a brush instead of a pen? And must the lines always be black? When I play, I explore. Exploring is fun. It's a time to get lost and to be a complete amateur again. What if the drawing turns out bad? Well, I could laugh about it or hide it, but I would have learned what doesn't work, and I would have had fun in the process. I found that playing and learning go really well together. I feel that if I learn something, I have gained something. Remember Edison and his light bulbs? I often sketch to capture moments from my daily life. I can't put them in a bottle, but I can put them in a sketchbook, so my kids or I can look back on them years later and remember that this is how it was then. Capturing these moments with my own hand adds that extra personal touch that cannot be duplicated by a camera lens. It will also be different from how another person would record their exact same scene, because everyone sees the world in a different way, and so they will have a different way of sketching it. I don't do these sketches to get admirers or 1,000 likes, even though that would feel nice for a while. I sketch to make art that gives me personal delight when I look at them. And making art like this gives me delight. For me, it's not drawing any scene, but drawing scenes that have meaning to me. Like a place I often visit during a time in my life. Or my kid about to have dinner at my mom's house. Sometimes things seem like they'll never change, but they always do. Another reason I sketch, it's to train my mind and fingers to draw anything, to move the way I want them to move, when I want them to move. It's my drawing gym time. This is when I look out for my weak areas and I work out all the kinks. I rehearse techniques I already know and I try to perfect them. I don't like to just stick with what I know. I sometimes challenge myself and try techniques or mediums I'm not familiar with. Yeah, there's some discomfort involved in that. Like I'm trying more acrylic in my sketches now instead of watercolor. You can see that I'm struggling and making a bit of a mess in this sketch right now. But I'm learning and improving bit by bit. So when it comes time to draw a scene for an illustration project, in whatever medium or technique, I'm ready. Sketching allows me to travel the world, or to explore new worlds, new civilizations. Okay, I'm a Star Trek fan. To visit distant lands, real or imaginary, without a plane or a spaceship ticket. I just need a pen, paper, maybe some paints, and my imagination, and I can be out there, exploring the galaxy while sitting on a sofa at my in-laws' house, waiting for lunch to begin. Of course, I can do this with just my imagination, but when I add pictures to it, it makes it more tangible, like I'm bringing something from the imaginary world into this one. So as you can see, sketching helps me get my mind off my daily duties, my deadlines, looking after the kids. It helps me calm down. I find myself breathing slower. It helps me relax. Sketching helps me take a break from my digital screens, to get out into the open, to get my eyes to look far, to feel the feedback of a nib or pencil as it glides across my paper, to get paint on my hands, to be present in the moment. When I sketch, I experience the sounds, temperature, the heat from the sun, moisture of a location, and all that plays a part in how the sketch turns out. Sketching encourages me to pay attention to the small details of a place I might otherwise overlook. Like I never noticed that there were two parts to that signboard, or that those bushes on the right had tiny red fruits, even though I must have passed by them 100 times before. So I would say that sketching can actually enhance my experience of a place. And that's why I sketch. So why do you sketch?